What's going on, everyone? How are you guys all doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Coming at you from a dead hardcore Iron Man account that I've been AFKing on the side every now and then, cutting some U-logs and whatnot. However, today's video is not over my Iron Man account. Instead, it is going to be going over what is very useful to my Iron Man account, and that is random events in old school RuneScape. So, on my Iron Man account, I actually do a decent bit of random events because they're helpful for my account and getting supplies and whatnot. However, on a main account, I typically just kind of skip through the events and don't do really any of them. So today I'm going to be going over which events are actually useful for lower level players to do and which events are useful for main accounts to do. So hopefully you guys enjoy, but let's get into all of the events. So I've split these random events up into 4 different categories that we'll be going through. The first one is basically events that allow you to gain emotes or equipment in the game. Now these are 5 of them, and as you can see on the left, it starts with the mime, we go to the frog, we have the drill sergeant, Leo, the grave digger, and the freaky forester finally. All of these events, you really don't gain anything as far as a monetary gain is concerned. None of them are really that hard. I would say that Leo is probably the most annoying and the frog being the easiest. I mean, ultimately, this just comes down to whether or not you really want to do just completionist type stuff or just get some cool gear, I guess. Really, it's up to you, but none of these are going to allow you to progress too much on an account, but they'll give you some kind of freaky stuff to wear early on into your account. The next form of events are XP related events where you are able to actually train your account through doing a random event, and there are only 3 of them in the game. Starting on the left, we can see that there is the genie. As a small EXP lamp myself, the genie is my favorite, and it really is probably the best event in old school RuneScape. So it's nice and quick. You're able to just talk to the genie for a hot second. He gives you a lamp, and then you use that lamp to choose what you want to gain XP in. As far as the amount of XP you will gain, it will be 10 times whatever level your skill is. So if you choose strength and your strength is 60, you're getting 600 XP. Easy as that. What I would say is try and use this on skills that are a little slower to train, like rune crafting and agility, to make it a little bit more beneficial for saving more time. So next up is Evil Bob, and this one's a little bit more different. He takes you to his island, you walk around on the island, you go and pick up a fish, you uncook the fish. It's a little weird. All in all, it takes about 2 minutes and comes out to 600 fishing XP as your reward. Now for that, I'll say not really that great. If you're low level, like under level 40 fishing, I mean, fishing XP is hard to come by, hard to get, so why not? If you're over level 40, not really worth your time, and I'd say just to dismiss the event. Now on to the exam that you can take. This takes you to a classroom where you talk to this dragon type being, and she will take you through 3 different riddles. If you get them all right, you get to leave. If not, you got to do more until you get 3 right. And ultimately, this gives you a book of knowledge, which gives you 15 times the level of a skill. This is a little slower, maybe taking a minute to 2, depending on how quick you can do them. And you get 15 times the level of the skill that you choose yet again. So both the genie and the exam, I would say, are universally good. However, Evil Bob is towards a particular newbier audience. So now moving on to the profitable random events, we'll start on the left with the Evil Twin, and looking down the rows, basically the top row is the average time to complete, the middle row is the average loot, and the bottom row is overall what you would make per hour if you did this event constantly. And so we start looking at the Evil Twin. This one, really not worth it for almost anyone, I would say. It's just bad all around. It takes a little bit of time and not good loot. Rick Turpentine's a nice and easy one, I'd say. Basically, I mean, give it a shot. If you're a meta or low level player, it's definitely worth your time. Then at the Quizmaster, not really worth it. At the end, you get the option of choosing a mystery box or 1k coins. Always choose the mystery box since your expected value is higher. Next up is the Mysterious Man and the maze he takes you. This one actually is very, very good, coming in at higher levels, 50k per maze. The thing is with this, it does scale with your overall total level, so the lower total level you are, the less you'll get, but I'd say all around it's definitely worth it to do the maze, because even though it scales down, it's still really good money for low levels. The pinball one, really not worth it at all in my opinion, but I do think that one is fun. I do enjoy that one, so you know, if you're looking for a good time, maybe try the pinball out. And then the Miles, Niles, and Giles brothers, this one also, much like the Rick Turpentine one, is just a nice easy one where you don't get a lot of GP, but it's so quick that it's almost worth it. And then finally, Prison Pete, he makes you go around, pop some balloons, and then rewards you by giving you basically nothing. Overall, the time to reward there just isn't there, so I wouldn't recommend you doing Pete. And then there are the leftovers, the rejects of the random event crowd that I would say really isn't worth it for anyone to do. I mean, looking at these 7, you got the security guard, the sandwich lady. She's a nice lady, she means well, but sandwich isn't going to cut it for me. I guess if you need some food, give her a shout. And then every other one here is just pretty much useless, other than I would say maybe Dr. Jekyll, but the only way Dr. Jekyll is good is if you have the herb on you, and not a lot of people are running around with herbs on them. So, very situational, but I'd say all of these 7 just aren't worth doing at all. Which then brings us to the end. What should you do? Which ones are worth it to you? Well, going through this, basically, I assume that most main accounts can make, around 2 mil an hour, somewhere around that. And with that, we know that the XP ones are always going to be good for you to do. So both the exam and the genie are ones that are on your to-do list. And then along with that, the maze, honestly, it's not bad and makes you a decent bit of money, especially if you're in a main account. So if you don't mind the maze, give it a shout. If you don't like the maze personally, I mean, it's about equal to what you could make per hour elsewhere, so it's ultimately up to you. If you like the maze, do it. If you don't, probably not worth your time. And then finally, for lower mid-level accounts, what should you be doing? Well, we have the same 3 as the high-level accounts, but in addition to that, we have Rick Turpentine, and we have the Miles, Giles, and Niles brothers, because, they're really, really quick, and they give you a decent reward for your time. So for lower/mid-level players, I would assume most of that is worth it to you. And if you may be wondering, well, I can't make more than 500k per hour, why didn't you add a couple other ones for low levels? Basically because white berries can be picked in the wilderness with no requirements, so at least you can make close to 700 to 800k an hour doing that at almost any level, thus why I didn't add anything lower than that. So yeah, that is going to be it for me and the random events today. Hopefully you guys were able to get a decent bit of info from it. And now we can all finally rest knowing that we have what are the most efficient random events to do in the game. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. If there's anything you want to tell me, let me know in a comment down below. And finally, if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But with that said, hopefully you guys do have a wonderful day, and peace. Mine now, boy. Burpee. Who's the little burpee boy? I'm a burpee boy. What the fuck?